What if this is it? Not in a depressing way, not in a hopeless way, but what if this right here? What if this is your life? What if there isn't some magical day coming where everything's going to finally fall into place? Where you suddenly have all the money, all the time, all the confidence, all the freedom you've been waiting for? What if life isn't waiting to begin? What if you're already living it?
Welcome to the bench session, where we unload the weight, one session at a time. I'm Juan, and this is a space for real, honest, and open conversations. The kind we usually only have with ourselves. No filters, no hiding. Just me, a mic, and a bench. Let's get into it.
Welcome back, everybody. Hope you guys are having a great summer so far, enjoying your weekends, enjoying your week. All right, so last episode we talked about how much time we think we have versus how much time we actually have, and how fast that shit moves. How none of us have as much time as we think. And after finished recording that episode, another thought came back to me, and it came back with, what if I've been waiting for a version of life that doesn't actually exist? What if so many of us are spending our lives preparing to live instead of actually living them? I think most of us are guilty of some of these things. We tell ourselves, when I lose weight, when I get out of debt, when I buy a house, when I retire, when the kids are older, then life will start. We can finally relax. We can finally travel. We can finally be happy. We can enjoy ourselves. But there's a problem here. Every time we reach one of those milestones, we fucking create another one. It's like we keep moving the finish line every time we get close to it. And before you know it, another 5 years, 6 years, 10 years are gone. In my own reality, I catch myself doing this all the time. I told myself when I hit 240, I'll be good. I'll be reaching my goal. I'll be happy. I'll be okay with how I look. I'll be, doing all these things that I have in my head. When I pay off my debt, I'll have extra money. I'd have some kind of freedom. If my podcast grows, I'd be able to get some kind of money out of this and some kind of sponsors. If YouTube finally takes off, maybe I can monetize. Maybe I can, I can finally start having that passive income, extra income that I can pull back on my day job. Then I'll feel successful. Then I'll enjoy. Then I can slow down. But what if that day never feels the way I think it will? Every goal that I've ever reached eventually became normal. That's our human nature. We just adjust, and then we start chasing the next thing. So there's a trap. There's nothing wrong with having goals. Everybody should have some kind of goal, big, small, whatever it is. You should have some kind of goal. I don't think we should stop chasing them. I still have a shit ton. I want to finish my journey. I want financial freedom. I want this fucking podcast to grow. I want to build something that I'm proud of. I want to leave something behind that, my kids can be proud of. My kids can, hopefully live a better life because of the stuff that I leave behind. But, these things, these goals, they matter to me, but they shouldn't stop me from enjoying today. Because if today's only purpose is to get me to tomorrow, then I'm missing my entire life. Sometimes I wonder, what if 10 years from now, I look back at today the same way I looked back at 10 years ago? Back then, I had problems. I had stress, bills, things I wanted to fix. But I also had moments I didn't realize I'd miss. People, conversations, places, even the ordinary days. Maybe 10 years from now, I'll wish that I can come back to this exact moment. Even with everything that I'm worried about today. Isn't that a fucked up thought? But it might be true. The life we're missing, we're always documenting life, taking pictures, posting updates, recording memories, TikToks, YouTube shorts, all this other kind of stuff, social media. But how often are we actually present while they're happening? Sometimes I wonder if we're just too busy trying to capture life that we forget to experience it. Some of my favorite memories, I don't think I have pictures of. mainly because I didn't have a phone. I was growing up, but yeah, some of the stuff just hanging out with the family, my mom, all my brothers, or just regular Saturday mornings at the mall or stuff like that. There's no pictures. There was no family photo or anything like that. You just remember how that kind of stuff made you feel. And that's enough. Now I'm guilty of, taking pictures and trying to document everything versus trying to just relax. And I find myself that just sitting down and trying to relax, my brain goes haywire and it starts looking for things to do. It's crazy. But, what if this is as good as it gets? Now, before you guys start misunderstanding me, I'm not saying stop improving yourself or anything like that. Don't chase your goals. No, keep fucking chasing your goals. Keep paying off your debt. Keep getting healthier. Keep building a bigger, better you, right? Keep doing that shit. Don't stop that. But don't mistake believing your life hasn't started yet. Because it has. I mean, your life, these ordinary Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Sundays, all this other kind of stuff, Monday mornings going to work, the evenings with your family, the workouts, the phone calls, the quiet moments that don't seem important today might be the moments you miss the most someday. So take some time, enjoy the moments. If you want to document them, sure, document them. Take pictures just in case you get Alzheimer's and you forget all your memories. That way you only have pictures to look back and videos to look back on, and hopefully that triggers some kind of memory. But, maybe happiness isn't hiding behind the next promotion or the next paycheck or the next goal. Maybe it's sitting right in front of us, buried underneath all the things we've worried about. Life doesn't suddenly become meaningful one day. It becomes meaningful because of thousands of ordinary, boring fucking moments that we usually don't appreciate until they're gone. So don't wait until everything is perfect to start your life, because perfect never comes. Life is happening right now, whether you are ready for it or not. Thank you for sitting down with me in another episode. If this conversation made you stop and think, maybe that's exactly what we all need to do a little bit more of. Just a better appreciation for the ones we have here. Appreciate the time you have. And remember, you don't have to carry everything alone. That's what this bench is for. I'll catch you guys on the next one.